Alright guys, we are back for another death battle, and today it is Aang versus Edward Elric, Avatar versus Fullmetal Alchemist. I love both. Fullmetal Alchemist is a good watch, but I've watched Avatar, especially Aang with his Avatar state, which makes him very OP because he has all elements on his side. And Edward Elric, he can clap, but from the clap he can make constructs and stuff, which makes it pretty good as well. But he ain't no pushover. Just don't talk about his height. So I feel comfortable with Aang, but I'll be rooting for Edward because he's good comedic relief as well. So let's go.
Have you heard of hymns? They're all about making you look and feel good.
Thanks to science, baldness can be optional because Hims is here to help. 4hims.com is your one-stop solution for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men.
Get started with the complete hair kit for just $5 right now while supplies last and subject to doctor approval. See their website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went to another doctor or pharmacy.
So go to 4hims.com/deathbattle. That's FORHIMS.com/deathbattle.
4hims.com/deathbattle.
He spells it out, but what if you don't know how to spell? Time for a death battle. Here we
elements
go.
make up every aspect of the world we live in, and no average person can tame them.
But somehow these kids can master them with a vengeance.
Like Aang, the Avatar.
Yeah.
And Edward Elric, the Fullmetal Alchemist. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Water. Earth. Fire. Air.
Heart.
Once the four
Captain
nations lived in
Planet.
harmony, and some of their citizens could even learn to bend their nation's element. But only the Avatar could master all four, and it's their duty to protect the balance between these nations.
And since there's always gotta be an avatar around, a new one is born whenever the last one dies.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Attempting to conquer the other three nations, the Avatar would inevitably be their greatest obstacle.
Man, they'd even go after a kid?
Living among the air nomads, Aang was an energetic and dutiful 12 years old when he learned of his destiny. He was the newest incarnation of the Avatar.
But he totally wussed out, ran away from home, and got frozen in ice for 100 years. What the hell? That's not what I'd do if I found out I was an awesome elemental badass. I'd definitely find a way to make money off that.
Boomstick, he's 12. But running away actually saved his life, as the Fire Nation knew the next Avatar would be an air nomad and slaughtered them all in a horrific surprise attack.
Oh, that's sad.
But the poor kid wouldn't be stuck in ice forever. He was eventually rescued by some new friends and began his quest to learn the other elements and save the world. And as an air nomad, he can really bend the wind to his will.
He can use air bending to create whirlwinds and tornadoes or slice through solid stone.
And he can fly. Whee!
Well, it's not exactly flying, Boomstick. What he actually does is manipulate the air currents to keep aloft. That's why he carries a glider, complete with snacks.
Oh, well, I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Whatever, if it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Or I guess, flying avatar guy.
But ducks actually can fly. Anyway, Aang can use air in pretty much every aspect of his life, like for shields, increasing his speed, improving agility, adjusting his body temperature, and even focusing his breath to use as an attack.
After he learned waterbending from Paku and Katara, Aang can make whips, knives, and literal tsunamis. Hey, I can do that too. Just give me a pool and watch this cannonball fly. Does that mean I'm a waterbender?
Sure. Waterbenders can also manipulate steam and ice.
Just like how I, the great waterbender Boomstick the Wet, will use my powers to swim through this frozen block.
You what?
Yep, waterbending 101. You can be jealous.
Oh wow, I'm just bursting with envy.
Bending powers, activate! Ah!
You did it.
Success!
Like airbending,
Well done.
waterbending requires a nearby source of water to use, like
Yeah.
a pond or a filled bottle. The same goes for earthbending, which Aang learned from his mentor Toph.
Earthbending is all about throwing rocks at people and a bunch of other cool stuff, like making walls and earthquakes and causing the ground to swallow you up. Which is kinda creepy, actually.
Last but certainly not least, Aang learned the art of firebending from his longtime rival, Prince Zuko.
Zuko.
Unlike the other arts, firebenders can actually create fire to use at will.
Firebending is so goddamn powerful. It's even got the deadliest bending technique of all, shooting lightning.
Well, only the most advanced firebenders can cast lightning, which is usually an instant kill move. While
Yeah.
Aang never learned the move itself, he has learned how to redirect it through his body.
But even
Uh-huh.
after learning the 4 elements, Aang got to meet one last master bender.
Who taught him the art of manipulating a person's life energy, the purest form of bending.
It's super dangerous though, and one mistake could tear up Aang's soul.
And
He
with
is.
it, Aang defeated the Fire Lord and brought peace to the world at large.
Well, with that and with his super form, the Avatar State.
In the Avatar state, Aang's bending
Yeah,
abilities
this
grow
is it.
immensely powerful. This is because the Avatar state lets Aang draw upon the power and wisdom of all previous Avatar incarnations. Though it is extremely risky, as dying while in the Avatar state ends the cycle of reincarnation permanently.
Why would he care if he's dead anyway? Whatever, the coolest thing about the Avatar State is it makes you glow, like this. Behold!
How are you doing that?
Oh, I drank a bunch of glow sticks.
You need to go to the doctor, like right now.
My liver's processed way worse than this.
Well, with or without the Avatar state, Aang is plenty powerful. He has the ability to move gigantic stone columns and even carve canyons around an entire city.
Not only has he survived hits from earthbending kings and massive explosions, he threw this gigantic column of rock at the Fire Lord.
To get the column's mass, we compared Aang's height against it and determined it must weigh 9,500 tons.
Aang's super fast too. With airbending, he can run on water.
Which, given his size, requires a movement speed of well over 67 miles per hour.
He used airbending to block a giant column
God.
destroying explosive attack from the best named character on the show, Combustion Man!
He
And
is
he's
so
proven he could
dangerous.
redirect lightning from the Fire Lord himself. Taking into account the distance between them and how far Aang's arm had to move to catch the lightning, he would have to react at least 155 times faster than
God, I
sound.
don't know how Edward's
He
gonna
is
manage
pretty
this.
unused to violence, though. I mean, he's a vegetarian pacifist for crying out loud. But while he may seem like just a kid, Aang still saved the world and led it into a peaceful future.
Yeah.
To him, bending is elementary.
If you want to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
Fear. Alright, Edward Elric. What have
Alchemists
you
of
got?
old once tried to turn lead into gold with
Colin
not
Edward.
great results. But in the country of Amestris, the ancient science of alchemy is actually possible by using the Earth's natural energy to reshape the molecular structure of various objects.
And by drawing a circle thingy.
Yeah.
A transmutation circle, which most alchemists use except for the youthful prodigy, Edward Elric.
Oh, what a little badass.
Careful, Boomstick, he's a bit touchy about his size.
Yeah.
Hey, if I lost my mom like he did, I'd get mad at the little stuff too. But Ed and his brother Alphonse figured they could bring her back with alchemy. So they went for it, but things went south real fast. You know how people say they'd give an arm and a leg for something? Well, Ed literally did, and poor Al lost his whole body. Luckily, Ed managed to stick his brother's soul in a suit of armor, but still, yikes.
This horrible experience has forever marked the two brothers. No one is meant to transmute
It's so
the human soul,
tragic.
and the boys were lucky just to escape with their lives.
But he got something good out of it, like super secret knowledge, including how to do alchemy without a circle thingy. He just has to clap instead.
Yeah.
So, worth it?
With these new abilities, Ed and Alphonse began their quest to restore their bodies. Specifically, they sought the incredible power of a Philosopher's Stone, believing it to be their only chance. Eventually, Ed joined the military, and thanks to his amazing potential, he was named by the Fuhrer the Fullmetal Alchemist.
What? Adolf Hitler?
Nah, it's just Bradley. He's okay.
Ah.
Until
He
isn't.
needs to be on
Spoilers!
this. He's so
Also,
badass.
since Ed lost a couple limbs, he got them replaced with automail. Kinda like my leg.
Automail is made from incredibly durable metal, ranging from his original steel one, to a gas-powered one, to his best version consisting of a mix of aluminum and carbon. Apart from being durable metal prosthetics, Ed's automail limbs function just like normal ones. He can even reshape his arm as a weapon.
So
Yeah.
we can turn it into swords and saws and stuff, increase its durability by hardening its makeup, or turn it into an umbrella. Ah, truly a limb of many talents.
But at the end of the day, Ed's true talent lies not in sword fighting or umbrella holding, but the art of alchemy.
He can do all sorts of crazy
You're
things with all
monkulous.
the elements. He can basically make anything he wants, like spears and shields.
So long as he follows the rule of equivalent exchange. Anything created with alchemy must have a source of equal value and cannot be made fundamentally different.
Yeah.
For example, lead can be molded into a statue, but it cannot be turned into water. Other than that, there are 3 principles needed to use alchemy well: comprehension,
Which means you gotta understand what the thing you're using is made of.
destruction,
Breaking stuff down,
and reconstruction.
putting stuff back together.
Ed is only limited by the materials at hand and his imagination. At his full potential, he can do almost anything. He can purify water, create ammonium gas from ammonium nitrate, repair entire houses, and transform a gun into a trumpet.
Don't you ever try and do that with any of my guns. Anyway, Ed's also learned destruction alchemy, which does exactly what you think it does, make a big ol' kaboom. Ed's used it to destroy stuff like automail, but it can also be used to explode people's heads.
So, using destruction alchemy, Ed should be able to destroy something like this on a molecular level.
Ha! Or you could just do that.
Anyway, with all of his abilities, Ed has done some incredibly impressive things.
Not only has he blocked gunfire from a Gatling gun after it started firing, he's dodged a pistol from nearly point-blank range, and his automail arm even took a bite from a lion-headed chimera. It was totally fine.
Assuming this chimera has a similar bite force to that of a
Here we
real
go.
lion, that means Ed's arm stood up to a force of 1,000 pounds per square inch.
He's created a gigantic cannon and then survived that cannon exploding while he was standing on it. And then he survived being on top of a huge boulder exploding too.
We can measure the boulder's explosion against Ed's size to get an approximate energy output. With a radius of 36 feet, this blast must have been equivalent to over 100 tons of TNT.
How's that for equivalent exchange, bitches? He also survived an explosion that took out most of a 10-story building.
Wow.
Even apart from being tough, Ed has shown considerable strength when using alchemy.
Like when he created a gigantic golem to crush his opponent.
By measuring the size of the
Alright.
stone golem's thumb, comparing it to the size of the average human's thumb, and using that scale to estimate the size of the golem, that gives us an estimated weight of over 3,000 metric tons.
All this without any Philosopher's Stone, because it turns out those things are really, really messed up.
Right, Philosopher's Stones are extremely powerful and can be used in many different ways. Kimberly the Crimson Lotus Alchemist, for example, used one to create a massive explosion equal to 157 kilotons of TNT. However, it turns out that these stones are composed of imprisoned human souls. So Ed and Al vowed to avoid them on principle. Although Ed can boost his alchemic power in a similar manner by drawing on his own life force, increasing his potential at the cost of shortening his lifespan.
Aw, that was
But
sad.
that's what Ed ultimately had to learn, what it truly means to let something go.
He does
and so he
so
found another
good.
way to revive Al's body, sacrificing his own power for the sake of family.
Aw, what a nice guy. But all in all, so long as Ed knows what he's trying to transmute, he's an amazing force to be reckoned with.
Now let's go home. Together.
Aww.
All right, the combatants are set,
Yeah,
and we've run
I
the
feel
data
like I'm
through
just
all
gonna stick with
possibilities.
Aang to
But
be
first,
safe,
thanks to
but
Blue Apron, I've become
I
a
do
food
hope-
vendor.
By
I
now,
mean,
you've
hope,
probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading
Edward's
meal kit
gonna
delivery
put up a
service in the
fight.
U.S.
A death battle!
Here we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna go for Aang, but I'll be rooting for Edward as well.
Sorry, Momo. You're just too little.
Oh no.
Little! Who are you calling a pipsqueak, you stupid hairless kid?
Nobody?
I'll show you!
Come on, this is good. Redirect. Yeah! Or smoke.
You know, there are actually a lot of advantages to being short. Like, you'll never hit your head on door frames, and,
I'm still growing!
Now I gotcha.
Oh! Oh, wait.
Ah! Oh, no! I'm sorry!
Oh,
A
damn.
classic misdirection.
Yeah, show him!
That's advantage Elric! Ha! Damn it!
Oh! Oh
How's
no!
this for small?
Oh! Can he do it? That's the thing.
What kind of alchemy is that?
Ooh!
Okay, no more clappy magic.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh god, it's gonna blow! Oh god, so he can't clap now because he lost his arm. But he can still draw, but he needs time. He's doing it! Hurry!
There you are!
Nice try, Shorty!
Oh my god! Oh god! Aang!
Whew. Can't believe that worked.
Yeah, it's over. Oh, Edward, it's over. No! You did your best, buddy.
At least I'm taller than you.
Oh no!
You left me no choice.
You did so good.
Looks like Ed didn't have a leg to stand on. Or arm, I guess.
Ed may have been more quick-witted and inventive, and he certainly had more combat experience. But Aang's bending abilities were far more versatile and readily available than combat alchemy.
Yeah, it had cool stuff like cannons and gun trumpets, but Aang was fast enough to react to lightning, which is way faster than dodging a measly bullet.
Recall how Ed survived an explosion that destroyed most of a 10-story building.
Yeah.
By examining the size of the building and thus the volume of the conical explosion, this blast must have equaled about 30 kilotons of TNT.
That's cool, but Aang did way more when he carved up a circle around that city in Avatar State.
The force to blast such a huge ravine around the city of Yudao was a massive undertaking. By measuring the width, length, and depth of the affected area
here we
compared to the
go.
size of the city, we found it would take almost 160
I knew it.
kilotons
No.
of TNT to pull that off.
More than 5 times greater than Ed's best durability feat. So Aang definitely had the stuff to crush Ed's automail arm
Yeah.
and the rest of him.
Granted, Ed could reach this sort of power by sacrificing his life force. Remember Kimblee's explosion, the one empowered by a Philosopher's Stone, a blast worth 157 kilotons of
Yeah.
TNT? That's almost identical to Aang's feat, and theoretically, Ed could have been capable of this level of power. Theoretically. However, a Philosopher's Stone uses many souls, while Ed could only draw from his one. Not to mention, drawing from his own life force meant his power-up had a very short and dangerous duration limit compared to the Avatar state, which has no such limit. But even so, Ed's tactics and creativity kept him in the fight, yet the Avatar's speed, power, and versatility
Yeah.
was too much for him. Aang may
God,
be
this
a
was so
pacifist in
good.
canon and would hardly kill anyone, but unleashing his full power is a sight to behold.
Yeah.
Just when Ed thought he had the hang of it, he alchemist the mark.
The winner is Avatar Aang.
Good job, Aang.
Thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below.
And if you'd like to see some more battle and death, make sure to click the link over there.
Alright, next time. Who is it?
That's right.
Ghost Rider? This is Lobo. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is gonna be sick. Oh, I don't know who's gonna win that, because Lobo ain't no pushover. But Ghost Rider is peak. He is the best of the best. But we're not talking about that today. It's about Aang versus Edward Elric. Who won? Aang, of course, in his avatar state. I knew he was gonna win. I had a feeling. Edward, though, definitely held his own. Unfortunately, he got his arm crushed, and as soon as that happened, he didn't really have many advantages because, you know, the clap was basically what was coming in clutch. But also what came in clutch is the fact he was able to, you know, use a smoke screen to just distract him, and then, you know, that's how it got sorted. Well, yeah, absolutely amazing. And if you enjoyed the video as well, please head over to Death Battle to subscribe and like the video as well if you enjoyed. But with all that being said and done, yeah, bye bye for now.